While we are waiting for the DG of NILDS to join us for the opening session, we would like to start by self-introduction, if you don't mind. Please introduce yourself and your institution, and then pass around the mic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Garba Ibrahim Balumfashi. I'm a senior fellow with the National Institute for Policy and Strategy Studies, Kuru. Yes. NIPS. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Theodore Balameyeki. I'm a professor of international economic law with the University of Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you.
My name is Jonathan Aremu, professor of international economic relations, Kofena University, and consultant ECOWAS Common Investment Market, ECOWAS Commission, Abuja. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yakubu Chonoko Mekel. I'm a private legal practitioner, and the name of the office is YC Mekel and Company. Thank you very much.
Former NBA president. Should I state the year? I should just keep it quiet. My name is Grace Dafiel. I am the chair planning committee for the International Law Association, and I'm from Thomas Adewumi University, the Dean Student Care Services. So please send me your children so that we can also teach them and train them in the after law thing.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Lillian Uche. I'm an associate professor at the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I am Godfrey Matthew with Adekunle, lecturer with Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Koko, Ondo State. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Geraldine Ukafo. I'm from Women and Youth Care Empowerment Initiative, a non-governmental organization. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chine Cherem Nwaobani, a private legal practitioner, a partner in the law firm of YC Mekel and Co.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Timitako Eguntuashi. I'm a private legal practitioner in the law firm of Ahmed Raji and Co.
Good morning, Profs and Lanesix and colleagues. Emmanuel Tayo Gunjiri is my name. I'm a legal practitioner with Dignos Chambers, Abuja.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gislain Agbozo. I'm Senior Research and Legal Affairs Officer working at the ECOWAS Court of Justice.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Professor Abiodun Amudakaniki, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I'm presently the Acting Director of Department of Legal Services to the Director of Legislative Support Services to the National Assembly members here, but I'm in NILDS. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Sam Oguche, NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Shamsu Yahya, Senior Research Fellow, NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Akibongesien, NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. Matthias Agboni, Senior Legal Research Officer, NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Sijuade Kayode, MNI. I'm a partner at Tokumbo Kayode Law Practice, legal practitioner. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adekoke Kayode, legal practitioner at Mahmoud & Co. A pleasure.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karim Kolawole Babatunde with Charter Institute of Forensic Practitioner. A forensic practitioner. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a private legal practitioner at YC Mekel & Co. My name is Saminu A. Wakili.
Good morning, all. My name is Umar Musa Pada. I'm a principal research officer at the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ibrahim Bello Ibrahim, staff of NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fatima Ademo, NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sunu Sumato, Information Officer, NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Istifanus. I'm a research officer with ECOWAS Court of Justice. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdurrahman Isa Wasagu. I'm a private legal practitioner at YC Mekiwanko.
Oh, okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Doris Aaron. I'm the technical assistant to the DG NILDS.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tokumbo Kayode, SAN Life Venture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Kayode, SAN, 2 times Minister, Attorney General and Defense, and I think a third ministry. I don't know which third ministry is that. 2 is enough. Thank you very much. Without wasting much of our time, with the kind permission of the DG, we would like actually to invite the ILA President to give his remark, and then the DG will declare this course open with his remark.
The distinguished Director General of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, Professor Abubakar O. Sulaiman, our dear Coordinating Director of the African Continental Free Trade Law and Policy Program Division, Office of the Director General of NILDS, Professor Mohamed Taufik Ladan, Secretary General and members of the Executive Council of the International Law Association, our distinguished faculty for this year's course, the learned senior advocates of Nigeria present, and of course, our former Attorney General, Life Venture, distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am highly delighted and honored to welcome you as President of the International Law Association to this milestone advanced course on international trade law with focus on AFTA, which is proudly organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, in partnership with our association, the ILA. As you may already know, the ILA was founded in Brussels more than 150 years ago, in 1873, as a learned society dedicated to the study, clarification, and development of the international law and the advancement of peace, equity, and justice worldwide. And I like to make the distinction that unlike the International Bar Association, which is mainly for lawyers, membership of the ILA is open to lawyers and non-lawyers, especially diplomats, foreign policy experts, and practitioners in legislative, justice, and international law departments. The ILA has a consultative status with the United Nations as well as with several other international NGOs. And just last month, I was in Rome, Italy for the 100 years anniversary of the Italian branch of the ILA. And a year before that, I was in Paris, France for the celebration of ILA's 150 years anniversary. So the beauty of the ILA is that we have membership across the world, and wherever you find yourself, you would find an ILA member. And it was in recognition of Nigeria's preeminent role in public and private international law that the ILA established or approved the establishment of a branch in Nigeria in 2014. The Nigerian branch was thus formally inaugurated by the then Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Aloma Mariam Mokhtar, GCON, at our first conference, which was held in Lagos. And since 2014, the Nigerian branch of the ILA has organized an annual conference, as well as several other workshops and trainings that have provided an intellectual space for Nigerian scholars and practitioners to analyze and resolve important questions of public and private international law, as well as international diplomacy. This course that we're about to start is therefore very timely and important for two reasons. First, the course is happening during the week of our 9th annual conference, holding at this same serene premise, therefore providing participants a chance to network beyond the classroom and immerse themselves in the fundamentals and intricacies of international law. This is the first time in the history of our branch that an advanced certificate course component will be part of our annual conference. So through NILDS, we are laying a big foundation that will linger in the annals and history of our association. This week, you will meet a number of distinguished speakers that are attending our conference, and like I mentioned during the press conference, we have the former prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, who is currently the Gambian High Commissioner to the United Nations, Her Excellency Fatou Bensouda, who will deliver a keynote speech tomorrow. We have the Director General of the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, His Excellency Edward Harris, the former Chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission, ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonoye, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, His Excellency Mohamed Malik Fo, as well as many other speakers. You would also hear from our friend, I saw him walking from China, Professor O Jiaru. Yes. So you will hear from him on the opportunity to deepen China-Africa trade relations. So we are very proud that through this milestone collaboration between NILDS and ILA, by the end of this week, you will not only obtain an advanced certificate, but you will also leave with a proud understanding of the work of the ILA, which is the oldest and the longest surviving association on international law globally. Second, this course provides a novel and comprehensive opportunity for participants to explore the intricacies of international trade law and how international law practitioners in Nigeria can be at the forefront of the implementation of AFTA. As the saying goes, if you don't write your own story, someone else will tell it for you. For many decades and since the pre-colonial era, Africa has been the hub of transatlantic and international trade, evolving local and indigenous approaches to the exchange of goods, to the doctrine of good faith, even to dispute resolution on African values and culture, which we often like to describe as the Lex Mercatoria Africana, the African law on trade. Yet, for many years, the development of international trade law has been largely shaped by Western narratives. Our practitioners and lawyers have had to travel many miles to learn about international law, taught by foreign experts based on their own perspectives and legal systems. The end result is the gradual weakening of Lex Mercatoria Africana in international treaty making. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there should be no African trade without Africans. Neither should there be the drafting, negotiation, or resolution of African trade disputes without Africans. So the adoption of AFTA in 2018 is indeed a bold attempt aimed at introducing African perspective in international trade. We do hope that through AFTA, there will be more boost to intra-African trade. We'll be able to address trade barriers. We'll be able to promote regional trade integration, thereby reducing poverty and advancing sustainable development in our societies. However, the success of AFTA would depend largely on the availability of African international trade law practitioners who have the dexterity, expertise, and skills to steer its effective implementation. In my view, reclaiming Lex Mercatoria Africana and shaping African perspectives in international trade begins from home. So a course like this is a deliberate attempt to develop and maintain a steady track of African trade experts, negotiators, and diplomats who will be skilled in the intricacies, the risk, and the opportunities for accelerating trade integration across the continent through AFTA. Let me therefore take this opportunity again to extend an invitation to those that are yet to join the ILA to please join us as we embark on this agenda of equipping African practitioners to take their place in global trade. And if you look at the last page on the agenda, you would see information on how to join the ILA. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me end my remarks by thanking our distinguished Director General of NILDS, Professor Abubakar Sulaiman, for your unmatched dedication and support, without which this milestone course would not have been possible. I also like to acknowledge and thank the hard work of all members of the planning committee, especially the innovation of the coordinating director of After Law and Policy Division at NILDS, Professor Mohamed Taufik Ladan. We thank him for his insight and innovation in crafting such a unique program. Let me thank other members of the planning team, KG Kolawole, Abraham Adeniran, Samuel Olayinka, and other members for their hard work in the delivery of this program. I also like to thank our distinguished faculty for honoring our invitation and for their willingness to share their ideas and insights with us. On behalf of the Executive Council of the International Law Association, Nigeria, I warmly welcome everyone to this course and wish us a successful and rewarding week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Damilola Olawi, SAN, President of ILA, Nigeria branch. On behalf of the Director General of NILDS, Professor Abubakar O. Suleiman, and the management staff, I would like to welcome you all to this pilot, or if you like, call it maiden edition, or the very first advanced certificate course dedicated to African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement law and its 8 protocols, the very first one in Africa. And the idea actually is that we're here in a context setting just for 2 reasons. There is first a knowledge gap on Africa law and policy. Second, there is also an implementation gap on how African countries that are actually parties to the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement and its 8 protocols are essentially gearing for implementation of their treaty obligation under this complex framework. And we're here because we want to address first the knowledge gap. DG, sir, we believe in quality faculty and also quality participation. In today's maiden edition of the course, you shouldn't be surprised to see former Minister of Defense, former Attorney General, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as a course participant with a whole sense of humility. He registered 4 members of his chambers for this course. And he's here in person also for the course. The same thing applies to our former president of the National Bar Association, I will still call him President, Yakub Mekiao, SAN. He also registered his young colleagues and himself for the course. And we have actually participants for this course from ECOWAS Court of Justice, selected from registry, research, etc. They are all here. I can see them, one is here and one other is over there, and then 1 or 2 other persons also here. And then we also have, members of the course that are drawn from the judiciary, the bar, the bench, and then international participants from Ghana, etc. And I think for the pilot course to take off with this diverse quality of participants, DGSA is really a great honor, and it shows actually that we are all interested in bridging the knowledge gap. And again, out of DG's commitment for this course to take off and to be institutionalized in NILDS, the DG graciously approved. Under the MOU, we are supposed to have, after all deductions, if there is any profit left, we share 50-50, NILDS 50, and then ILA 50. But the DG graciously, agreed in anticipation of the profit that we don't even know what will be the amount, to say that, look, we are reinvesting our anticipated profit into our own staff. And he approved. And he approved for the Department of Legislative Support Services, full of actually lawyers, 80% PhD holders, with the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Professor Kanike SAN, as the director of the department, to be part of this course, so that we will not only bridging the gap, but we will also be institutionalizing after law and policy in the institute that is actually taking off with the first pilot course in the whole of Africa for the first time. So it is not about a conference with a mass gathering. It's about a quality of the participant that you want to ensure that we actually bridge the gap. And we also believe that it will also help us to translate into an implementation gap. Because if we have institutions that have quality participants with this knowledge, they can also return to their institutions and begin to pave way for addressing the implementation gap, because every national institution in Africa is also a critical stakeholder in the implementation of the different components of the AFTA agreement and its 8 protocols. And the reason why we are having this advanced certificate course finally is also because the AFTA framework itself is very complex. It's a very complex, framework. The headline of the agreement, which is just 30 articles, very sketchy, can even be misleading. It says an agreement to establish free trade area. But if you look at the protocols to the agreement itself, they are complex. Protocol on investment, protocol on competition policy, protocol on intellectual property rights, protocol on digital trade, protocol on trade in goods, trade in services, dispute settlement mechanism, and then protocol on women and youth in trade. If you combine this with the principal treaty itself, it's a complex regime. And so, starting actually today, the whole of today, all the participants, are fortunate to have actually the faculty for today set. Professor Damilon Olawe, Module 1, is already here. Professor Bala Mayaki, SAN, Module 2 is here. And then Professor Jonathan Aremo, ECOWAS consultant, export and investment and competition and trade from ECOWAS Commission, Module 3. So all the faculty for today that will give you the best, beyond theory, particularly the practical actually aspect and the dimensions that you might actually even not think of, are here to give you the best actually for today. And the way we design it, with the permission of the DG, is that the course is being integrated, or let's use the word, smuggled into the conference of the ILA. But in a very crafty way. So tomorrow, tomorrow, the whole of tomorrow, all course participants are mandatorily required to attend the entire full day of the ILA conference from morning to evening as part of your course, deliberately, because the conference is about addressing illicit financial flows and money laundering actually activities, eating deep into Africa's, economic survival. And we believe strongly that after law and policy, is also aimed at addressing the illicit financial flows component of trade. And so if we don't actually, understand the interconnection, then we may actually lose track of the negative actually components that can eat deeply and also make nonsense of the entire effort of economic integration in Africa. So that is the nexus between the cause and the conference. And we also assure you that all course participants are automatic members or eligible to register for full ILA membership. So you benefit from three things at the same time. I'm not selling ILA, but just because of the nexus that the DG has allowed us to forge based on MOU, we believe strongly that this is actually the way to go. Thank you very much, and we would like to invite the DG to give his opening remark and declare this particular course open.
The immediate past presidents of MBA, you're welcome to our institute. My senior colleagues in council, the former Minister of Justice, former Minister of Defense, quite a while, you're welcome. The president of the Nigerian branch of the International Law Association, Professor Damilola Olawi. Professor Tafik, keep on talking about MOU and keep on smiling without a nod to confirm whether those MOU is going to be practicable or not. Thank you very much for your support. The chairperson, Central Technical Planning Committee, Dr. Grace, you're welcome. Director After Law and Policy, Professor Ladan, our own consultant, who has been doing a lot of work on AFTA, the Director, DLSS of NILDS, the Legal Advisor, Director of Legal Services of NILDS, other participants here present, our consultant from other countries, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you all to this very important session of the 9th International Conference of the International Law Association, Nigerian branch. This important session of the African Continental Free Trade Area after Advanced Certificate course is not only timely, but very, very necessary. Let me start by thanking the organizer of this program for their proactiveness and dedication in ensuring that emerging areas of international law, especially as it relates to international trade, are developed and well understood. I'm particularly happy that our institute is hosting this very important engagement. And I believe that the knowledge that we begin here, especially from the course, will be beneficial not only to Nigeria or the African continent, but the world at large. Distinguished participants, it is very important to highlight some of the importance and benefits of the AFTA agreement to us, particularly as African people. The AFTA agreement represents one of the most ambitious and transformative economic initiatives in African modern history. By creating a single continental market for goods and services, with free movement of business, persons, and investments, AFTA offers Nigerian and indeed the African continent immense opportunities for industrialization, job creation, market expansion, and inclusive economic growth. However, these opportunities can only be fully realized through deliberate, coherent, and sustainable implementation measures by member states who are signatories to the agreements. This is where the critical role of international law experts come to bear. Lawyers, play critical roles as experts and advisors in the domestications of international agreements, the enactment and amendment of enabling laws, and the protection of national interests within AFTA framework. This AFTA course is therefore necessary to deepen understanding of the AFTA agreement and its associated protocols, examine Nigerian obligations and implementation strategies, and that of all member states. It also provides a platform for peer learning and policy dialogue. Distinguished participants, our collaboration with ILA reflects a strengthening commitment and the promotion of African-led development solutions. We are confident that the technical session, expert presentation, and interactive discussion over the next few days will equip participants with practical knowledge and policy tools to support Nigerian effective participation in the AFTA regime. Let me assure you that NILDS remains steadfast in its mandate to provide capacity building, research support, and technical assistance to the National Assembly, state legislature, and other democratic institutions, particularly on emerging and complex policy areas such as trade, investments, digital economy, intellectual property, competition policy, and sustainable development. Our Center for Advanced Executive Education Program is another initiative of NILDS towards entrenching value to leadership in both the public and private sectors in Nigeria through dedicated and carefully designed modules and certification in leadership, legislative practice, and governance. You will do well to avail yourself of the diverse opportunities this provides. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this course over the next few days, I want to encourage you all to engage actively, share experiences openly, and contribute constructively to the discussion. The success of AFTA implementation in Nigeria and other member states will depend largely on informed action, institutional coordination, and sustained political will. As I conclude, let me express my appreciation to the former Minister of Justice and the former Minister of Defense, as well as the President of NBA former, and other participants for adding value to this program. Getting your staff involved in this program is value addition to us. I want to commend our consultants and other speakers who will be part of this engagement in the next 2 days. As I humbly, on behalf of the leadership of National Assembly, the workshop open. Thank you very much.